in the New Life Christian Church, coming on the men's group on Mondays. And today we will share what we learned yesterday, Sunday, in the church. Let's dive in the journey.
Hello, how are you today? Welcome to And Now What? This is the podcast that helps you move forward one step at a time. Every Sunday, we hear a message at church. But after that, life keeps going. So here, we stop and ask, what now? What do I do with what I heard? This space is for that. For questions, for real talk, and for taking small steps in faith. Today, we're talking about something that matters. Later, I'll be talking with a guest. We'll go deeper and share real stories, just like yours. Let's get into it.
Damon, a good brother, and then let we find out what is the mean koinonia and what the topics we're talking at this Sunday. All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, David. So you know the topic on Sunday, the pastor is sharing about the how is the koinonia, right?
Right.
What you can tell us about it, the Sunday service?
Well, it's referring to Christians gathering together, whether it's for communion or a wedding or just fellowship and brotherhood. That's what they're talking about.
In the message, he gave a lot of examples, right? So one of those examples was Barnabas, one of those guys who hold the hand to the pole.
Yeah.
When we know he made the bad things, right? And he come to
right
disciples. What can you tell you about it?
Well, it sounds to me like if he didn't introduce Paul or Saul to the disciples, then he wouldn't have been accepted as a disciple. And so him sticking up for Paul was key. And the only way he could do that was the testimony that he had while traveling with Paul, seeing that he had changed from when God struck him down and blinded him and showed him the way. And so it's good to have a Barnabas because the disciples wouldn't have accepted Paul without him.
And for example, today we are Christians. Sometimes we act like Barnabas or like Paul.
Paul, the disciple, is a good one to act like, but Barnabas was sticking up for and supporting someone who was maybe not believed. And so if we can do that for other people and get them to join our faith, that's a good thing.
Well, you say to come to enjoy the faith, or is everybody believes in God. If you ask them, they say, oh yeah, you believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God.
Right.
But what is the key to believe in God or be servants for God?
Well, you need to give your life to God if you're going to be following the way of Jesus. And like Jesus said, put down your things and follow me. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take that message worldwide.
And then one of those ways to grow in the Lord is be with another believers.
That's true, definitely. And the time I feel most in tune with the Holy Spirit is when I'm singing with the choir. And our worship team is great. And I don't think you can get it from online services. In fact, during COVID, I took no part in online services. I was waiting for them to come back so I could come in person. And as soon as they did, there I am.
So we understand that technology is help. It's only help, right, to be with the people who's not access to go physically.
Right,
sure.
right.
But that's true what you say. Sometimes it's not only be online because you can feel him, you can touch the brother.
Yeah.
If you got to matches to him, if you got a greeting to him, that's not online. You can make a text, but you can put emotion on the text.
That's
right?
true. And there's eye-to-eye contact and all sorts of facial things that go on in our communication that doesn't come with technology, no matter how you try to do it. We're going to always have that face-to-face honesty that is going to be unable to be carried through in digital form.
And then that's true because, okay, so what about for the new generation where they're growing in the technology? Maybe they think, oh, you are old school and today you can necessarily be physical in the building.
Well, my only answer to that is we are living in the physical real world, and the digital world is something that's an amazing thing, and it can be used for good or bad, but it can never take the place of in person in the real world. And so the more kids go away from the real world, the more they're not going to be able to handle real life situations. And unless you're some sort of savant stuck in a little basement with every single wire connected to every single thing, that's not a life. The life is spent outdoors, breathing the fresh air and feeling the grass under your feet and smiling and saying hello to somebody. That can never be replaced.
All right, let's back a little bit. For example, at the time you start beginning come on Monday's group, men's group, right?
Right.
You think it will be the same if you was online watching the men's group, or when you come to the church and see the men's group?
You got to come to the church. So early on, I've been going to this church for about 6 years now, and one of the announcements was Monday, men's group, Bible study, 7 o'clock, come on. And so I thought part of my faith should be doing that. And so I started doing that. And this was before COVID, and we had a long table set up, and there was one time we had 23 people. And the discussion was lively. There were people who knew the Bible inside out and backwards who were bringing other stuff in. And I don't think it can be, when you're seeing someone talk about something they believe in, you start to believe what they're believing. And that can't be replaced by a digital thing. And the fact that we could hug each other and shake each other's hands and then pray for each other is key to that whole thing. And we're supposed to be sharpening our sword of knowledge, which is part of the armor of God, and knowledge is the knowledge of the Bible. And so how can I sharpen my sword if I'm swinging through an empty chair? Lately we've been getting only 7 people, and I know there's 20 to 30 people that are males in the congregation. And so if you're working on Monday and you're providing for your family, we completely understand. But if you're not, and you're staying home and watching football, or you're just tired from the day's work, some of us are too, and we come anyway. And we know each other. There's a core of 10 or 12 of us that come to all the men's breakfast and on Monday's Bible study. And when the spiritual battle happens, we're going to be standing back to back and trusting each other and knowing each other. That won't happen with the other 18 that aren't coming. And if we're going to be one body of Christ, we need to know each other. The way we get to know each other is coming to the men's breakfast and the men's group. And there's other ways, but it's one of the ways we're offering. And so take the opportunity to come. I never walk out of Monday Bible study feeling less energy or dragged down. I'm always feeling uplifted every single time. It's time well spent.
Thank you. And the great example we have that is about when the disciples pray for Peter. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. They were praying for him, and then the servant lady opened the door, and it was Peter. And so God had answered their prayer, and they didn't even know it. And yeah, praying together is powerful. In my own testimony, I had the men's breakfast group pray for my godson's sister, so I guess that makes her my god niece or something like that. But she'd been in a car accident in a coma, and we prayed. And there were 30 of us at that breakfast, and some of them were high up elders, and it was a powerful prayer because within a week she was back home.
And
it's amazing. That amazes me still.
And exactly what you say. If you be online, you can have that emotion.
Yep, you can.
I mean, God will bless you too. But being Saturday in the morning, request for brothers, you can say physical, say, brother, can you please pray for my situation, for this help?
Yep.
In your heart, you say, like, I know it will be happen. But the same encouragement was feeling for the group of the men.
Yep. We're all looking each other in the eye, and we're all linking our hands together, and it was powerful. It was powerful. And you can't get that connected to devices doing it online. I don't think, well, I know who invented the internet system, and it wasn't God.
Well, without God, we'd love to a certain amount of technology be online, right? But that's right. it's now technology will now take the way you worship God.
That's true.
Because in the Bible, everything is based on the Bible.
Yep.
So if you read from Genesis to
Yeah, I don't think there's a mention of a laptop in any part of the Bible.
Let's focus on the letters when Paul sent to the Corinthians.
Right. Yeah.
The letter wasn't the number 1, number 2, number 3.
Right.
Was the number 1 was sent there for 1 month, 3 months ago.
Right.
And like you say, when they received the letters, maybe they passed 3 months and they say, "Oh, wait a minute, he's to remember what the problem we have." So,
right.
Well, let's focus on that. So today, we don't have the excuse to be absent on the men's group, because even we had the websites, so the cameras and stuff like that. Like you mentioned, we need to each other, because if you text to me, "How are you?"
Yeah.
I don't know if you tell me like, "How are you?" and worry, or just like, "Hey, how are you?" Like for.
And then when you respond, "Fine," you don't know if it's a fine to cover up that I really have cancer, but I don't want to talk about it, or if I really am fine and having a great day. There's so much that is conveyed by our face and our manner that can't be captured digitally. It's just not going to happen.
Sometimes only when you see to the eyes to the man, you can see how he is overwhelming. Right?
Yep.
So that's important to be able to visit the men in the group, because you never know when the time is going to be gone.
Yeah.
We listen, we learn, or we'll listen to testimonies from the people in other countries.
Yeah.
Right? When there's not way to be at the men's group.
Yeah.
If you say it's like, for what? For play poker. All right.
Yeah.
But if you read the Bible, hey, you're rest.
Yep.
And today we had grace, let's say like that, to be able to read the Bible together.
Yep.
Like right now, we got the time to speak about Jesus right now.
Yep, and there's something about an elder person who knows more about the Bible, reading it and helping guide the people who are just waving their swords around, and to show them the right way to hold their sword and the right way to make a riposte. And these are the things that I sharpen my sword with Rick and with Bob all the time because they come all the time. But there's others that I don't sharpen my sword against because they're not there. There's only
you
7
don't know
of
if
us.
they play it around or they.
Yeah, or they're tired. But I think I'd like to see more of the 30 men that are coming on Sunday come to Monday Bible study. That's what I'd like to see. And I can assure them that they will come away with a good sense of brotherhood and camaraderie and feel uplifted in the Lord. And will learn that they will sharpen their own swords against mine.
Yeah,
and so that'll be fine.
Is, for example, if you remember, the pastor mentioned a woman who was passed away in the moment.
Yeah.
The people was commotion. It was sad because this person helped.
What got me about that, because I had Gonzalo and Trish pray for me about this. If I passed away, well, Pastor mentioned if one of us passed away, would we be missed like that lady was? And I think people would miss me. They would say he was a good guy, but I don't think they would be so missing me that, like that one lady went to the other town to bring Peter back to pray for her. I don't think I'd be missed that much. I think I want to go further that way, so that if someone found some way to cure me in Sacramento, they would go to Sacramento and bring someone back to help me. And I'm not there yet, but I'm going to try to get there, because that lady obviously made a big impact. For someone to go to another city back then and bring someone back to help her, that's profound. And so, good example for us Christian believers we want to leave a legacy that is so full of the right way to live, which following Jesus Christ is the right way to live.
Yeah, because like you say, nobody will remember you. Maybe they remember you for the first month, for the second month, but what about 3 years? What about your family? What about the members of your family?
Right.
So we need to say, like, this man was hunger for God.
Yeah.
Until his last day, he's still looking for people for come to the church. He's asked people to be freedom, to like to be enjoy the gospel.
Yeah.
how God works in amazing ways that we can understand.
Yeah.
But like you said, maybe they don't remember you like, oh, the big art or something spectacular, but they can remember the man who's looking for God.
Right.
From the beginning to the end. And that's the beauty, because they can find you looking for to God all the time.
Right.
That's a race.
Yep, bringing God-like ways to your everyday interaction, whether you're in line for coffee or whether you're walking down the road or anything. It's important. It's important.
Yeah, it's important because you can test the freedom you have.
Yeah.
If you can remember your first steps today, you can say, oh, how I missed that in that moment, and now I can understand how the gospel is, how is to read the Bible, how is go to the church, how is it mean on the other man's, how we participate in the church. And last week we were talking on the Sunday, the pastor mentioned too, the word koinonia means is fellowship, be together and support one another.
Yep.
And I think that's the key on the Sunday, right?
Definitely key, because I feel love every time I come into the presence of all these people, and if I'm missing, I feel like I've let people down, and I feel like I'm part of this church and I should be here and I should be supporting them, and they're already supporting me, and it works out that way. And Sherry had some yard work to do, and I'd given a coupon for Christmas for the singles thing, and so I did her work. That's what this place is all about.
It's just right, because it's not just come to the church, be fellowship, it's helping each other. As the pastor say, be in the church, right?
Right.
It's not be one more person. Is the communication, is the relationship you have with God.
Yep.
And the Bible say help to the community.
Yeah,
in the
especially
house.
the ones who believe in God. And
right.
That's so right. And how can you not help your brothers and sisters when it's what Jesus would do, and we're trying to follow his example?
Yeah, and how you feeling about help people in the church? How's feeling that?
I like that a lot. If anyone needs to organize their storage or clean out their garage, I hope they ask me to help them, because I enjoy doing that sort of stuff, and I still have energy for that. And I would not hesitate at all to help any of my brothers and sisters.
So you sometimes thinking like, oh, he's take advantage, or just because he's my brother, I need to help him?
No, I haven't come across that yet, and I'll cross that bridge when and if it comes. I don't think it will.
So is love in your heart to help the brothers?
Yes. And every Thursday when I come to pantry and I pass the boxes into the people's cars, I know I'm doing the Lord's work, and our church is doing the Lord's work by helping our community, and it feels good. It feels almost as good as Monday night leaving after we're studying the Bible with the men. And so these things that are taking my time are filling me up more with the living water of God.
Yeah, that one is making feeling about like people sometimes say, oh, you want to go to help the church, and why? What is the reason you need to help the church? Why you not help you brothers or you?
It's almost selfish because it makes me feel good. And there's that certainty that I'm doing the Lord's work, that it helps to know that you're on the right path. And so that's why I'm doing it, and that's how I'm set up. If you're in the point where you're giving money away, then you can say that you've solved that thing about wanting money and the evil of that. If you're giving it away, the blessings come back to you, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, especially when you help the community in the church.
Yeah.
It's like a few times I tell them, I would like to help them because he is the one who always give me a good encouragement.
Uh-huh.
He's the always who listen to me.
Right.
He's the one who's not saying something negative.
Right.
He's the only one who don't say something, give me and I give you.
Yeah.
He's the only one who say, let's make it right. And let's ask the wisdom for the boss.
Yeah,
In this case, it's God. So that's like, if he tell me I need to make payments from my car, I will be happy to do that.
Yeah.
And why you help your brothers? Because you need to have love for them, and you have it. But when you love God, Jesus will tell you who need to help.
That's true.
Because it's not only for help. It's just make it the right help.
Right.
Sometimes you try to help somebody, it's like...
Yeah, sometimes the guy asking you for money is going to use the money to go buy more alcohol. If you give him a sandwich and some cheese, that's better for him. And you're still helping him.
And even he rejects it. Like, okay, anyways, I take it.
Pastor ended with that we all need our own Barnabas. And so it would be nice for one of the brothers and sisters to put me in a new place and vouch for me so that I can further serve the Lord in a different way. And so I'm still feeling it in myself to go with Brother Ray on one of his walks around Hayward trying to save souls. I want to do that. And so something along those lines. It'd be nice to, there's more that I can do with my time that's for God and not with this material world that I'm living in. And so I need to do that. And I think this last Sunday inspired me to do that. And so, good job, Pastor.
and that's just like you said, it's encouragement, you know, it's like it's like feeling like emotions because you cannot go and tell somebody like, hey, look, I was that way and you know, you will not finish good.
Right.
And had the opportunity to share your testimony with someone.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it make you feel like, Lord, thank you for who I am right now and give me the opportunity.
Thank you for using me in this great way because, boy, when he uses you and you feel and you accomplish what he wanted you to do, it's a good feeling. It is a good feeling.
I mean, this is very joyous, right? Because remember, God's joy, that's happiness.
And we're supposed to rejoice. And we're supposed to feel it again. Yep.
And that was the beauty of the gospel. It's not just words, reading, knowledge. It's beyond that, you know?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Yeah, so I will encourage the people to enjoy the same thing with us on Sunday. That's why it's important to be in the church.
Yes. I don't think, well, I don't know. I haven't experienced the online thing, so I can't really judge, but I wonder if they felt as encouraged as we did in the congregation talking about it, because Pastor is pretty impassioned by it, and he is a good leader of men. I wonder if it translates through the electronic stuff.
Yeah, because one of those caught my attention is when you mentioned like when you don't come, you feeling like little, I disappointed or something is missing.
Yeah, there's when Kathy Major and I are up there at the altar. I know she can hear me singing. It's not great singing, but she knows I'm singing, and I'm hearing her singing and doing the tambourine. That you can't get that unless you come in person, and that is one of the best times I ever feel the Holy Spirit, and that always feels good when you can feel it.
So how's that feel in that moment to you when you can get a point to get communication with God? How is the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's sometimes I still think he keeps how he's going to use me a mystery to me, and I wonder why that is. But the more I go along and the more I learn his word, the more I see where I'm supposed to go. And so there's times where I don't really know how he wants to use me, and I make these broad guesses and I give it a try. But then there's times where I know, as I'm making the step towards this thing, that I'm doing his work and he's using me that way. And I like that feeling, and I wish it would happen more. I'm trying to figure out how to get that to be a constant thing. We're supposed to be praying constantly, which means there's some set in your brain that is just constantly pouring out prayers and trying to communicate with God. And I'm not there yet. And we're trying to get there. That's what we're all trying to do. None of us are perfect, but if we keep trying the right way, we're going to get better at it.
Of course, yes. Yeah. So the point is no give up. It's just okay. Maybe later. No, it's keep going. Keep going.
A little deeper, a little more. Yeah.
And I remember one of those times. You remember when you share about when you find the scissors?
Where I find the stickers?
The scissors. And
the scissors, yes. Oh, yes, my miracle scissors. Yeah, that was an amazing thing. I needed those scissors, but how would I have known if I didn't forget my gas cap and make a U-turn looking for it? And then I get out to get the gas cap, and 10 feet from it were these sharp scissors that I could use to cut my carpet up so I could get the couch out of the storage so I could throw it away. Amazing. And those scissors are under my driver's seat right now. And whenever I need something sharp to cut, I just grab my scissors. That was a weird way how he works there. That's just amazing. How did the scissors get on the median there by my fallen gas cap? He is all powerful, all knowing, and he knows what we need before we even ask. I wasn't even asking for scissors. I was just thinking to myself, my knife isn't good enough. I need something else. And then these scissors come along. It's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, that one is really a shock to me too, because it's the way you say, I believe in God, and God knows what we need.
Yeah.
God really know, even before asking.
Yeah.
And like you say, in my mind, I need something else better, and when you go there, you find it.
Yeah, and that sort of feeling is just a great feeling. You know that he's there with you, watching you, and you don't feel it all the time, but then when he shows things like that, it's really good. It's really good. It makes me believe more. My shield of faith, because I was a scientist, I sometimes read books about evolution and things, and my faith gets a little smaller. But then when things like that happen, my shield gets much bigger, and so I can ward off all the demons and devil's arrows, and it's good. I mean, I would think that faith should be the same size all the time, but it's not. It goes smaller, it gets bigger, and in general, the last 5 years, my faith shield has gotten bigger, and so that's a good thing, and we're continuing on. Because so many people, they're walking around with these things that covers the whole body, and no arrow gets through. Yeah, one of those shields, it's really huge, and so I'd like to get one of those.
Yeah, like in the cartoon, and the bubbles, like, oh my God.
Yeah, and it's all covered back around. I can't even get them from behind, and their sword is out there, and it's a very sharp sword, and I want to have all that armor.
Yeah, that one is right. And that was going to be, if you're thinking about it, they're a little ambitious for that.
Yep. It's a good thing to strive for.
Sure,
it's a good thing to strive for.
I need to get it, polish my sword and my shield and my arm.
Yeah.
And we get it that if we come to the men's group.
Yep, that is true.
That one helps you to build, to your...
Know how to put on your belt of honesty and wear your breechcloth or a breastplate of
the gospel.
That one. And the helmet of redemption.
Yeah,
and so all these things good to have, because the devil is out there, and if you don't pay attention, he's going to sneak in somehow and put some thoughts in your head and have you do some things that you shouldn't do. And we should recognize it, because we were doing those things before in our past life, and so he finds new ways to slide them in. He's amazingly ingenious, and we need to have our shield of faith. And it's even better because the sword can be an offensive weapon and a defensive weapon. And if it's sharp, you can get this devil back. We should all be swinging our swords as mightily as we can.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, the battle is real.
Yeah, and it's not in this world, it's in the supernatural world. And that's hard for my scientific brain to wrap around, but I believe it. And I think when Vivian talks about the veil coming thinner and it's starting to become more of a time where we're going to communicate with that world, that sounds right to me.
Because I would take at the same way. You see, when you come to the church, if you don't come to the church, let's say your protection is going a little weak, right?
Yeah.
And they will start, hey, you see, nothing happened. Just the next Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, look, maybe you can find a job on Sunday.
Maybe you can, the real world has that look that you just gave me, and I see that look, and it's not their place to judge where you're putting your time. You can't work 24/7. You can only do what you can do, and if they're going to not let you worship, then that is not the job for you or for anyone. Yeah, because the point I know by myself. Right. I know just keep one Sunday. Yeah. It will skip another one. Yeah. Whenever they know, I far away from the church. Yeah. Because he is good, and we need to be coming with a thankful heart, because all the things that he does, that like giving miracle scissors, it these things, you should thank him and praise him, and the best way to do that I know is to worship him with song. And worshiping him with a song online is not going to happen. I just don't see it.
Well, you really can see a little, because the audio was mixed very good, so you cannot find out. But the point is the connection with God.
Yeah.
Because when you are in the church,
the worship team leads us right up there. They really do. And when you're singing with them, it feels like we're talking right to them, and the Holy Spirit's flowing through the connection, and it's great.
And you're feeling over how you say, like your weight is more light.
Much less. It's the lighter load, and I walk out of there with a spring in my step, and it's going to be a good week.
So when the message come in, you can get it, can meet the nutrients for your seed in your heart.
Yep.
So I'm really amazing, how the process and how the gospel is working through us every Sunday.
Yeah. And you go out and you try to act as the gospel says, and you don't shy away from giving your testimony to some stranger who might not believe, and you say, come to New Life Christian Church. I've invited many people to New Life Christian Church, and I've had a few come, and it's good. It feels good to look out and see, those are 3 people that I invited. They wouldn't be worshiping and thanking the Lord as much if they didn't hear my invitation.
It's good. You feeling, I believe you feeling happiness in your heart when you see the people you invited, they show up. And you're like, wow. Jim
Cook, the one who sits next to me and comes to Monday Bible study, he was going to another church, and he was an elder of another church. But they moved, and we were playing chess, and we started talking about the Bible, and I invited him to church, and I invited him to Bible study and men's breakfast, and he's now one of our regulars.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking.
And what a great thing! And he's had some miracles, and it's so good to feel it.
It was beyond what he's expecting.
Yeah,
he don't expect you just come and meeting of the men's. The reading the Bible is very good to see how God work on them.
Yeah,
and thanks to God who he able to use us.
Yeah, and I've overheard Marilyn, Mark's wife, talking, because she's just behind me and right by Jim, and they've been talking, and he's been inspiring her, and she's been laying hands on him and being prophetic for him. And she's a powerful lady, that Marilyn. And and so that was good that he came in her presence, into her sphere of influence, and it's just, when you're doing God's work, it feels so good when you see it going on and you know it's for good. That's one of the best things I've ever felt. It's almost as good as dunking a basketball.
And that's something you don't want to miss it. You don't want to play around it. You don't want to say like, well, maybe there's another day.
Yeah.
No, because that day is the only one day. That's the only one day.
Yeah.
It's not another day. It's not gonna be second chance.
Yeah. You can never tell when he's going to come, and you should be ready at all times. And I hope I get to read the rest of the Old Testament before he comes, so I can fully understand his word, because I've got a ways to go still.
Yeah, well, I'm very happy to see how you grow in the Lord. And I can remember my first Mondays, and when you asked me, hey, I can understand where's the switch where you say, okay, I am a believer, I am Christian now. How is the formula?
Right, the switch.
I don't
have the switch.
I know. Look at you. But I can remember at that time, you know, and I remember when you say, how this one is work. I mean, I understand these letters, I read this book, I understand, but a few areas, like, that's not making sense for me. And I see it today, and I say,
I am sure I'm on the right path, and I'm sure this is the right place. And
do you find the switch?
Yeah. And no, there's still no switch. It grows within you until suddenly it overwhelms everything, and no switch needed to be done. Yeah.
I think when you open your heart to God, God will tell you, hey, this one's the switch. What are you looking for?
Yeah, and I've got an odd testimony, but it's one that is is True. My last name is True, and I've had the belt of honesty on for most of my life. So it's a real thing, and I enjoy it.
So you really see how God working in your life?
Well, I see how it is. He's a mystery. He makes it so tricky sometimes, but it's only tricky because of my own brain. If I just go along straight like I'm supposed to, it works out, and everything's going good. And there was a time where I made this analogy where I'm on the path to Christ, and the path has got lots of loose rocks on it, and I step on a rock and I slide down. I get back up on the right path, and then another one goes, and I go the other way. And lately now, it's been nice steps, rock, and then step on the next rock, and they're all solid. And that's how I've been feeling lately. And so that is good. I know I'm taking the right path, and there's far less loose stones around for me to trip on and slide back off the path. And Vivian's still over on the other hillside saying, "This way, Damon, this way." I can't even see her, but I can hear her voice, and I'm going that way. And the steps are very clear and very solid. And so it's good. There was something interesting about Teresa. Teresa was one of the main reasons why very nice whenever she would check us off and everything. And so I thought I'd come some Sunday. And there's that awkward time when everyone says, "Get up and greet your neighbor," and I didn't know anybody. And Teresa comes right up and gives me a hug and says, "Welcome, brother," and we exchanged names. And then because she was going through some stuff, she wasn't coming every Sunday, and me too. I was a little sporadic at the start. And we'd see each other again at the church, and we'd both forget each other's names, but she would still come up and hug me and say, "Welcome, brother." And the light in her eyes, how happy she was to see me, I said, if this church has this person here, this is going to be the church for me. And
Yes.
so for her to be so welcoming, and so, even though she didn't remember my name, was just profound to me. That this place is making these sorts of people. I want to be here, and I want to be coming to Monday Bible study and men's breakfast. I'm in, and she was a big part of that. I need to go tell her that.
Yeah, and I'm happy you know that because the pastor said the church is helping you and encourage you, right?
Yep.
And then if you're serving, and like you say, if she don't remember your name, but he give you the hug, but with love,
Yeah.
that will make difference. You say, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah. Big difference. And boy, if she'd have texted me, "Hi, good to see you again," it wouldn't have been the same. It just wouldn't have been the same.
Thank you for coming to the church.
Yeah, I was going to sing the
I
light
see
in
you
her
next
eyes
Sunday.
and how happy she was to see me. And so that is, I hope that whenever I greet someone new, that I'm doing the same thing Teresa did for me. And sometimes I'm probably not as friendly as I could be. I don't know. Hard to say. When I do greet someone, I'm enthusiastic about it. But sometimes I walk, stopping to every single one of them and greeting them like that. And it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a little process,
Yeah,
because sometimes you will do things what God put in your heart.
Yeah.
Because if you do it just to do it,
It should be just our general nature, though. It should come so naturally, like breathing. It should be like breathing. You don't think about breathing, and I shouldn't think about greeting people cheerfully and enthusiastically. It should just come right out, and it usually does. But there's times where I'm got my own little mission about where I'm going to go after church or something in my mind, and we're working on that. God has got some goals for me, and I'm going to keep on going. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm taking firm steps, and the rocks aren't sliding anywhere, and they got little moss around them, so they're not going to go anywhere. So I'm on the right path.
Walking alone, so the Holy
Yeah,
Spirit is
that's true
working
too.
you,
Yeah,
right?
that is true, and I feel that most of the time.
And then right away too. You can call any of your brothers and the church. And, I'm dealing with this one, and how I can,
Yep. I've got friends like that, Rick and Gary and all these people that I've got things that I'm wrestling with, and I can talk to them. And but really pray with God. And I try to do it every morning, but I don't do it every morning. But there's that time when I'm first waking up that I think about it. And thank you, God, for another day and waking me up in the first place. And
You
goes
know,
on from
that's
there.
the beauty of the church. Don't be only part of the crowd. It's be part of the one body, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference between a crowd and a body. You know, a big difference.
What you can tell me the difference for you in this church about?
Well,
maybe
I know that if you're coming to the Thursday pantry and you know me and you've seen me, you know that I'm in. And so any one of those people I could ask something of. Give me a right to bark. Anything. And they would give it to me. And I hope they know that if they ask me to help them with something, that I could either to encourage them or to help them lift some stuff or whatever it might be. And so that's not part of a crowd. A crowd is individual things in a group that are doing their own thing. We're all going towards God, and that's what we all believe in it, and we're all going that way.
Because when you're in the crowd, you can maybe see, and when it's done, everybody go home.
Yeah.
And think about it. See you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. We hope most of our churchgoers aren't like that.
Yeah, and this time, for example, in this church, Neo-Life Christian Church, what we see is no growing in numbers, it's growing in family. Right, because I see a lot of numbers when I started in this church before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I can see a little more people.
Right.
But after COVID, if you then move the state, so they don't stop coming. They move the state because
Right.
the living is a little expensive.
And it's a thing. The internet, electronic world can be a tool for good, and I'm sure pastors use it to spread the word, and that's a good thing. But there's so much that can be diminish the real life experience, and I don't know. I know the devil created the internet. I just know he did, and it's easy to get trapped in that whole world and start to not use it to further God's work.
Yeah, maybe we give you too much attention to the technology instead of attention to the gospel.
Yeah,
God
that's
is talking,
true.
Because God can talk into us about technology, but if we focus now, but we look in something else and we search something else, the technology will not help
I play
you.
a lot of chess and backgammon and poker on my phone, and it's not reading the Bible and getting out there and meeting people and telling the thing. Yeah.
You can't even spend time there.
Yeah. I try to limit it. But yet, the next day when I've done a good job of not doing it all night long and stuff like that, then it's time for my break, and I enjoy punching up my chess game and my poker game. But you want to keep it to a minimum. You want to keep the real world the majority, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can prioritize. It's like the Bible say, everything, you can do everything,
Right.
but not everything is help you.
Right. And that's the good thing about God. Anytime, anything, when he says these absolutes, it's true. When I was a teacher, I would tell the kids, don't say always and never, because they're usually wrong. Because you don't always do something, and you don't never do something, and you could say, I often do it, is better. But try to stay away from the absolutes. But in the Bible, the absolutes are real.
Yeah.
And pretty useful to not have any limit of time, to be knowing what's going to happen and know what happened in the past and know the exact details. And history's a hard thing, because the winners of the battles write the history books for the next generation. And so they get a very skewed outlook on what really happened. And anyway, God doesn't have that skewed outlook. He knows what really happened.
Yeah, that's right. Because he knows what is the present, the futures. He knows everything. So
Yeah. And being omniscient and omnipotent, pretty useful talents. I wish you'd share it with me, but anyway, yeah.
That's it for today. I hope something spoke to your heart. Maybe it made you think. Maybe it gave you hope. Whatever it was, hold on to it. God is not done with you. He's walking with you, one step at a time. So ask yourself, what's one small step I can take this week? Pray? Call someone. Forgive. Try again. Whatever it is, take that step. You're not alone. Thanks for listening to And Now What? If this helped you, share it. Send it to a friend or talk about it in your group. We'll be back next week. Until then, keep walking. Keep growing. Don't stop.
And I enjoyed it. And when you go through everybody else and it's time for my turn again, I'll look forward to that.
Of course, I put you the next list.
All right. Thank you for having me and solving all the technology to make this happen, because I never could have done it. Don't ask me for help with your technology.
All right. Thank you so much.
Are we good?
I'll see you. Yes.
That was a good conversation, Jeremy. I enjoyed it.